Here's a little introduction to some of the main types of government that are in this unit. First of all, thinking about the types of governments that are run by one person at the top who has ultimate power, pretty much no limits on their power, which means that they have limited the rights of the citizens, and their rights as the leader is very, very strong. There are no limits on the kinds of things that they are able to do. Autocracy is a fancy word that just means that there's a government that has one person with all the power. And two of the main types of these types of government are monarchy and then also a dictatorship. Monarchy is ruled by a king or queen, and then in order to determine who is next in line to rule, that is about the bloodline from generation to generation. If you need help remembering monarchy, think about the word king, and I feel like the word king kind of is at the end of the word monarchy, monarchy, monarching. If you need help remembering that, that might be a good mnemonic device for you to use. Dictatorship is the other kind of government where one person has complete control. This doesn't have really have anything to do with the bloodline being passed along from leadership to leadership. It's where the dictator gets their power by force, some sort of military conquest, or they have killed the previous leader or threatened them. In this type of government, that one leader at the top, who is called a dictator, has all the power. There aren't any limits on their power. The citizens have little or basically no power at all, very limited freedoms and rights because the dictator and the government maintain too much power. Another kind that we'll discuss is called a theocracy. And theocracy, that word indicates religion and gods. And theocracy is a kind of religion where the power comes from God or from their holy books or the traditions from their religion. And so rather than focusing on a constitution of written laws, they're really looking at what does our religion say about what is right and what is wrong based on what our priests tell us or what our holy books tell us, what we believe our God or gods are trying to tell us. And this type of government gives religious leaders extra power because religion is important. A theocracy can overlap with other types of governments, meaning that all really theocracy means is that if the religion has a big impact on the government and the laws, then you have a type of theocracy. Now, you could have a king or a dictator, but also having some level of theocracy where religion still plays an important role, but you're still ruled by a king. So that would be an example of a theocracy government, but also it has elements of a monarchy too, if there is a king leadership going on too. So theocracy can overlap. In other words, it can a type of government could be a theocracy as well as a monarchy, or a theocracy and a dictatorship. Democracy is the kind that we have in the United States, and it's a type of government where people have power. If you've heard the expression power to the people, that would be democracy. It means that the power of the government is limited. They don't have unlimited power, that there's limits that are put on their power thanks to voters and laws. There are two main types of democracy: direct democracy and representative democracy. Direct democracy is really only with very small groups of people because what you're saying is citizens have direct power to vote on all kinds of laws and issues. Like if the people got to vote on almost all the issues that we're dealing with, that would be a true direct democracy. This rarely exists in our society because it is very difficult to accomplish because you have to get people together to vote often. it's much easier to do what we call representative democracy, which is what the United States has. The people have the power, but most of the times they're voting is voting for people to represent them. Keyword representative democracy. Citizens are electing people to represent them, like a mayor or a governor, or senator, president, and then we're selecting these people in hopes that they will represent what we believe is important when the decisions are made. Citizens still can vote on some issues. I mean, we have a representative democracy in the United States, but people still get to vote on school levies and issues with taxes dealing with the fire department or school issues or money raised for the library. So there are still other issues that people do get to vote on. They just don't vote on everything. It would take too much time. The representatives do the majority of the decision making in the government, and the people get to elect who represents them. This is just a little summary of the four main types. So we have monarchy, monarching. So remember, when you hear king or queen, think of monarchy. We have dictatorship, which is run by a dictator, all powerful ruler of one, has limited the rights of the citizens. We have theocracy, which is the religious type of government. Anytime you see or hear anything about the religion and the religious text or book or Bible playing an important role in the laws, think of theocracy. And then we have democracy, which is what the United States has, which is giving the people and the citizens more power in the government.